I'm here to tell you in this video every single day, not only are you public speaking, but the danger of believing that that is the only way that we speak in public, especially as modern experts in this economy. When we do that, we ignore the audiences that we already have. Let me tell you a story real quick. Recently, I was on a call and this woman told me that she had 900 people show up to her latest webinar where she was sharing some data that they had worked on and put into a report. 900 people from across her industry. I was like, do you understand how many people that is? And she also shared with me that she actually hasn't been in touch with those people since that webinar. And that when those people left the webinar, they were so impressed and they were super hungry for the research that she and her partners have been spearheading. Let's just dig underneath the hood over there. You have an audience of 900 people, not only waiting to hear back from you, but also who have raised their hand and said, I'm really interested in what you're working on and I'm leaning in. I want to hear more. And because we are trained to not recognize ourselves as speaking in public all the time, we fail to see, like this woman who I was working with, we fail to see that we actually have a captive audience that's waiting to hear from us. Imagine what it would be like, and this is part of the exercise that we did. Imagine what it would be like if she got off that call with the 900 off the webinar and kept feeding them something of value throughout all those different months to build the trust with that audience. Well, the very first thing, I want you to go through the list of places where you have folks who have either opted in, right, and said, hey, I really would like to know a little bit more about your newsletter, for example. Or maybe you have people who are following you on LinkedIn, and constantly these particular people are the ones in the comments, they drop all kinds of things, and they also slide into your DMs. Where are the moments where you actually can invite these people to be your audience in real life? And that could be something where you offer a webinar, like this woman that I was working with, right? It could be something where you offer a round table. You know, one of the things that I absolutely used to love in New York were these breakfast meetings that people used to host. And breakfast meetings are fantastic because it's before the workday and it allows us to convene and to talk about something very specific and to get a lot of value before the workday has even begun. And usually you're catching people before their schedule is already filled. Is that something that you could use? Could you maybe organize something that is an activity that connects all of these people who are your audience, but that also showcases your expertise? The more you can think about how can I offer value and maybe how can I create convenings and community with these people, you're going to be deeper in your sweet spot, offering the audience something of value and recognizing for yourself, this is my core audience. These are the people who want to hear from me. How can I serve them? The most valuable thing you have between you and your audience is your trust. I learned this the hard way. I joined YouTube a couple years ago. I can't remember the exact date, but it was maybe 2022 that I joined YouTube, and I was consistently posting all of these videos, and the videos actually started to do really well, right? There's one video in particular that I posted around January of 2025, and this thing went gangbusters. Like, so many people watched this video. I mean, for me, it's super viral. Over 100,000 people saw that video. Not only was that video really amazing because it showed me something about YouTube and how many people I could get in front of, what kind of an audience I could actually reach, but that video also monetized my channel, right? So suddenly, I had just this huge influx of people coming in all the time and being like, oh my God, this is amazing. We want more. Ask me how many videos I put out after that. Because what happened was in January 2025, I was also going through a lot in my own personal life. I lived through some family grief, but I was also moving countries and I was doing this with a small child. restarting a whole life, right, in a foreign country where I didn't speak the language, so also trying to learn the language, blah, 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 blah. A lot of things were happening. And in that, I broke the trust with my audience. I broke the trust with my audience. If you look at this channel, I have something like 1.7 thousand people who are tuned into the channel, or at least who are subscribed. The number of people who actually tune in every week is so much smaller. It's like a fraction of that bigger number. And the reason why, I know why, is because I broke that trust through the silence. I wasn't consistent with posting the kind of videos that let these people know, hey, I see you, I value your attention, and I see that you are the people in my audience. Let me actually honor that by being consistent and offering you something of value on a cadence that you and I are clear about. I wasn't doing that back then. Okay, sure, I had all kinds of reasons why, but I'm sharing this story with you so that you can understand when you have an audience, you cannot take that audience for granted. The trust that that audience puts inside of you, like that's not something that is yours to keep forever and ever. And especially if you're here on YouTube, consistency is the name of the game. Everybody tells you that. But what I'm trying to really make clear from my own example is the cost of not being consistent is breaking trust with your audience. And it's not breaking trust like I was out of integrity, but it's breaking trust like I wasn't serving them and I was not seeing them as my audience, right? We also fall into another trap. You look at a number like 1.7K and you're like, oh, it's just 1.7. When I get to 100,000, then I will really take YouTube seriously and I will show up consistently for my audience. But let me tell you, those people, that 1.7K, those are the people who are going to help you ride out to 100K. And it's not just about riding out to 100K. Like, we're not just trying to be random influencers, right? Nothing wrong with that. I love me a good influencer all day. It's more about the goals that you have. The people who are currently in your audience, they have signed up to get you closer to that goal. So how are you serving them? How are you thanking them? How are you offering them value? And here's the fascinating thing that I've also learned. This year, I decided to take my audience really seriously and to show up. And here's the takeaway that is fantastic. You can earn back the trust. Why? Because that audience and the costs that we spoke about, right, which is broken trust, is not a hypothetical thing. It actually compounds over time. So the more you show up again and again in front of your audience and remind them that, hey, I see you. I know that you raised your hand. I know that you're interested in this particular expertise that I have. The more consistently you do that, the more that the trust also compounds, because now they're like, oh, she's back. Okay, I see this. Let me see how long she's gonna be able to hold this. And they're watching you and they're trying to see if they can trust this new relationship with you. Your audience right now, they're not waiting for you to get bigger, right? Like, there's nobody who signs up to follow you who's like, oh, I can't wait for her to start talking to me when she gets like super blown up and she's invited to the Today Show. Instead, they're waiting to see if you will acknowledge them. And if you don't acknowledge them by being consistently serving them, they're going to move on. I learned that the hard way, and what I'm inviting you to consider today is, who is your audience? What does public speaking actually look like for you today? Because it might not look like that version of public speaking that we thought was quote unquote like official public speaking back when we didn't have all of these platforms that we have now as experts. How are you leveraging these platforms to build your audience and your public speaking? And because we're living in 2026, here's exactly what I challenge you to do. Think about all of the places where you have actually been in front of an audience, but there hasn't been a stage. You weren't sitting maybe even on a panel. There wasn't a riser. Those people weren't even gathered in the same room. Think about that particular time. It might have been a newsletter. It might be a podcast. It might be you on YouTube. Maybe you also have a YouTube channel. I want you to not only think about that audience as people who are waiting for you to serve them, but I also want to challenge you to start thinking about that as a form of public speaking, that it looks different, that it might be the people who you are pitching in a boardroom. That is a form of public speaking. That it might be you sitting one-on-one across lunch from an investor or a funder, somebody who's going to actually make the dream that you have of what your business could grow into come alive, and they're catalytic. That is a form of public speaking. And if you are public speaking, your job is to understand not only what your audience wants, but how do you take this audience on a journey? How do you transform this audience through whatever it is that you have to say that makes them feel like, oh wow, I just moved from A to B. And by the time you get to B, what action are you inviting your audience into? This is Madam Speaker Says. I am Makha Khodi. I hope that this video has been useful to you. If it has been, please hit like, subscribe to this channel, and let me know in comments where some of the places that are unexpected, where you already have been thinking of that platform as, oh, this is a form of public speaking, and not, oh, this is just another thing that I have to cross off my list. Let me know in comments. I'm really excited to hear from you and to see you here next time.